What's poppin', everybody? Cerebral4, and I have with me here the Knight, Unison, Unison, however you pronounce that second word. I don't know. I don't know what it is. I've never heard of it. Something to do with uniting. I have no idea. Anyway, but this Japanese set here, this mini set, 55 cards, it's supposed to have the ninja theme going for it. At least the Pokemon ninja theme going for it. A bunch of Pokemon used by Koga and his daughters, a bunch of other stuff here. Already, this set has a bunch of very hateable cards for me. You guys can see the Venomoth GX here. This has got to be one of the most disgusting Pokemon. It might be like my most hated Pokemon of all time. Really, I hate bug Pokemon, the disgusting ones at least. But anyway, so let's go ahead and look at this set. I know that I have a lot of these, quite a few of these Japanese sets that I gotta cover. I've been keeping them off. Just a lot of videos. I had to focus on a lot of videos. Team Up got released, lots of that stuff. So we gotta cover these. I've got the EX series stuff that I do. Okay, so let's look at Venomoth first. Uh, Venomoth, it's a Pokemon that I perfectly fine with. This is basically really unrelated, but I'm really sure that they really did make a mistake with when they made the games Red, Blue, and Yellow with the evolutions. Like this Venonat here is supposed to evolve into Butterfree, and then Caterpie, Metapod, and Venomoth. That was supposed to be like line, and they kind of fucked them up. But anyways, so Venomoth here, 60 HP, can do Raid or Eye. Look at the top 7 cards of your deck, put one card you find there, and then shuffle the remaining cards. Now this is a pretty good first attack. This is basically the same attack that Jirachi uses, if it's correct, the text right here, because these Japanese translations always take them with a grain of salt. Surabi makes a lot of mistakes many times. When the English cards get released, they have slightly different effects. But if it's how it says here, look at the top 7 cards, grab any card, then it's basically the Jirachi's attack from, not Celestial Storm, Roaring Skies, that support Jirachi that I really like. So good attack for a basic Pokemon. It's nice to have useful attacks like these, instead of just like 1 for 10 attacks. So I guess if you use Venomoth, this is a good Pokemon, I guess. And then flop, just 20 for 2, that's it. Alright, and then next up we got this Venomoth GX. Looks pretty fucking disgusting. I hate it. Hate it, man. These big ass fucking eyes. Looks really like a fucking moth you don't want to see in real life. Shit. But anyways, I gotta cover it. Looked at this card on the Amino many months ago, I guess when it was first announced. And it has 200 HP, only 1 retreat, so I guess its stats are pretty solid. These stage 1 GXs with 1 retreat are good. And it's got ninjutsu as a first attack. It only has 2 attacks basically, the regular attack and the GX attack. So if you use Koga's Trap from your hand during this turn, this attack does 90 more damage. So it basically does 110 for 3, and it's double colorless compatible. And if you use Koga's Trap, which I'm guessing it's going to be like a trainer or a supporter, then you do 200. And it says if you use Janine, his daughter, from your hand, prevent all damage done to this Pokemon by attacks from your opponent's basic Pokemon. So if I'm not mistaken, both of those cards are going to be supporters, Koga and Janine, in this set. We're going to look at them. So I guess if you use either one, you get this sort of effect. If you use Koga, you do 200 for 3, which is actually very strong. I mean, Tag Team GX Pokemon now are really popular. Pokemon like Zekrom GX. I've been using a lot of Gengar and Expanded, really loving it. Snorlax is pretty good too. I think Wailord is doing some shit as well with Quagsire. So it's not going to be as effective against them, but, 200 damage for not a huge cost is still pretty good. I mean, you just use Koga's Trap. I think his effect is like a Hypnotoxic Laser in supporter form. Something like that. We'll see, but it's definitely high damage if you use that supporter. And if you use Janine being immune to basic Pokemon, I guess, yeah, I mean, you got that strategy against these Tag Team GX Pokemon. You make yourself immune against them. Okay, and then return tenfold to GX. You shuffle your hand into your deck, then draw 10 cards. It's essentially the same attack as, what was that guy called? Man, I don't even remember his name now. That dragon dude from Guardians Rising. Drampa GX, yeah, it's called Drampa GX. Had to pause there for a second and think. Yeah, Drampa GX's GX attack. This guy's a stage 1 though, so this isn't as good, I guess. But yeah, so this is all you get. A drawing GX attack and then ninjutsu. That's it. I'm not gonna use this fucking Pokemon because I hate it. But if you want to use it, I guess it's solid. Uh, we'll have to wait and see. We'll have to see the ninja supporters as well. Alright, then we got Bellsprout, Weeping Bell, and Victory Bell. Let's look at Bellsprout here. And I haven't actually, maybe I know some of these cards, what they do. I looked at them very, very long ago. But for the most part, I'm going blind in this set review, as I usually do. So just Razor Leaf, 20 for 1, 50 HP. They decided to use this Bellsprout concept art. Okay. Next up, we got Weeping Bell, how I like to call it. You got Burning Venom. Your opponent's active Pokemon is now Burning Poison. Okay, double status. That's not bad. This is stage 1 that can still evolve. And you got Ram, 30 for 2, 80 HP, but the double retreat kind of sucks. And then let's look at Victory Bell here. A kind of interesting art here. He's kind of, I don't think we've ever looked at a card like this, pointing with the art, the way they decided to go with it. It's like the mouth thing is pointing. He's like gonna attack, eat something. Cool. And it's got 2 attacks, and its stats are kind of shit, to be honest, these days. 140 HP on a stage 2 doesn't really fly. It has to be at least 150. It's either 150 or 160 to get a pass from me. If you're gonna have 140 HP, you better have free retreat. That's how I look at it, or just some amazing broken ass ability. But anyways, it's got reactive poison, so it does 10, and this attack does 60 more damage for each special condition affecting your opponent's active Pokemon. So the same attack how the old Ninetales from Dragon's Exalted had, and we have Ariados that does a similar thing now from Celestial Storm, a remake from an Ariados from the EX era. And I think there's a bunch of other Pokemon that have these sort of effects. There's like not a Salazzle, but another Pokemon that does this effect as well. And well, it's not really that good. You do slightly more damage, I guess, but it's not really worth it. I think it does at least slightly more damage. Yeah, I think you do 20 more damage or something. It's not really worth it. It's a stage 2. You're better off if you're going to use a strategy like this. You use a Riados or the fucking... if you go with Expanded, you can use Ninetales too. You get a good pulling ability too. And then Gastro Acid, you do 90 for 3, and your opponent's active Pokemon has no abilities. Okay, so this attack has a little bit more of a saving grace to it, negating abilities. It has to be your opponent's active Pokemon though, which is always kind of... it's kind of like how the Shifty from Rising Rivals was, and it didn't do anything. Damage isn't that great either, especially for 1 grass and a double colorless, I guess. If you did like 90 for like 2 and you've got this ability or something like that, then maybe you could have tried and used this for the second attack, but it's just a very mediocre card. We've been getting quite a few Victory Bell cards recently, actually, and they've all been kind of bad, to be honest. Very mediocre. This one is another disappointment. Okay, next up we got Grubbin. Yeah, the clay art. Nice. It's got Illa Signal. Search your deck for up to 2 lightning Pokemon, reveal them, put them into your hand. Okay, this is pretty good. This might replace your Grubbin basic Pokemon in Vigavolt decks, since this guy actually has a useful support attack. You can grab any lightning Pokemon too. And then 30 for 3, that's not good. But double retreat on a 60 HP Pokemon, man, that's rough. Okay, we got Tentacool and Tentacruel here. And it seems Janine uses this Pokemon too, okay. So Floating Bubble Technique. If you play Janine from your hand, this attack is going to do 60 for 1. Okay. And then Tentacruel. You have 100 HP. You do Wicked Barb. Move 1 energy attached to your opponent's active Pokemon to their other Pokemon. Then put 3 damage counters on that Pokemon. Okay, so your opponent needs to have energies on your active Pokemon, I guess, for you to use this attack, and you gotta move it. You put 3 damage counters on the other Pokemon that you basically move the energy to. Kind of weird. Uh, so it's essentially basically 30 for 1, and you move an energy. Not that impressive. I guess all of his attacks are colorless though. And Wrap, you flip a coin. If heads, your opponent's active Pokemon is paralyzed, then you do 60 for 3. This is so like DP damage output for 3 energies. Don't show me this shit. Even if the energies are just all colorless, you don't want to do 60 for 3. You don't want to do like 60 for 2, honestly. At least if it was DC compatible, but even then, uh, I mean, just one, it only required like 1 DC, like 2 colorless energies. Very mediocre Pokemon. It just seems like these Pokemon are sort of like collectible Pokemon that just don't have great attacks. They just made them to make them kind of thing. Reminds me of the Supreme Victors. Because, 60 for 3 is not that good, man. Oh well. Next up, we got Goldeen and Sea King. Haven't seen you guys in a while, and I really like Goldeen. Elegant Swim. Flip a coin. Heads, prevent damage, okay. And then Sea King, are you going to do anything good in your life? Excite Horn. You flip 2 coins, the stack does 30 damage for each heads. This Pokemon has a Pokemon tool attached to flip 6 coins. And it does 30 times, it doesn't do 30 plus like it says here. Okay, so if you have a tool, you're going to flip 6. That's actually pretty good. On average, you're going to do like 90, I guess, for 1. And, I mean, I guess if you have a choice band on, then it's like you do 120 for 1 energy. It can be pretty good. I mean, you can even combine this with Victini that lets you reflip coins. If you get lucky, you can do a lot of damage for only 1 energy. You're going to need a tool on it to get the max value. Otherwise, it's just shit without a tool. But I guess it's decent. 100 HP, 1 retreat. Uh, it's an energy attack that only requires 1 water energy. Might not be too shabby. Decent thing. You might be able to try it for fun if you want to. Next up we got Kyurem. Yeah, basic Kyurem. Love it. I hope you're good. Let's hope you're good. Come on, sir, be load. And keeps taking forever. Alright, having some fucking issues here. Okay, back to Kyurem, I guess. So cold call. You search your deck for water energy and attach it to this Pokemon. It's kind of too bad you can't attach it anywhere, and it doesn't do damage either. I mean, I guess it's okay. Alright, and then Hail Prison. You do 110 for 3, you discard 2 water energies. Your opponent's active Pokemon is not paralyzed. Alright, so the damage isn't the greatest, and you do have a double discard, but the instant paralysis, that's kind of cool. It's nice, actually. Its stats are kind of standard for a basic legendary Pokemon. You got your typical 130 HP, 2 retreat cost. So it's decent. I mean, it's not going to give you that high damage output you probably want, like if you use this in Blastoise as a good basic Pokemon as an attacker. But getting that instant paralysis might be handy. Maybe you want to go that route. I wouldn't really run it the way it is, but I mean, you never know, I guess. We've got this Blastoise in standard now too. Alright, decent Pokemon, I guess. We got a Froakie line here. Is there going to be Greninja too? Probably. This guy does quick attack, and that's it. Just extra damage if you get hits. You got this Frogadier. Looks pretty cool. Seems like this is like clay art as well or something. It's got After Image Strike. During your opponent's next turn, if this Pokemon will be damaged, I flew a coin, and yeah, if you get heads, you don't get damaged. Okay, nothing special. And, okay, no Greninja yet. We got a Pikachu and Raichu here. This Pikachu does Pika Ball. Cool. Just 30 for 2. 70 HP basic. Alright, not bad. And this Raichu, what do you do? It's got a double retreat cost. Why, man? You're supposed to be Raichu. I'm expecting like 3 or at least 1. And it's got never give up as an attack. Alright, you can use this attack only if you have 3 or more prizes cards remaining. If you got 3 or more prize cards remaining than your opponent, attach all lightning energy cards from your discard pile to your Pokemon in any way you like. So this attack can be pretty broken. You gotta be kind of in a very fucked up position, like your opponent needs to have 3 more prizes. You need to have like 3 more prizes more than your opponent. So your opponent has taken 3, you haven't taken anything. I mean, you're probably gonna lose if that happens. You're gonna need like some amazing comeback strategy to get back. But I guess this just lets you get a bunch of lightning energies. Just all lightning energies, you can get them back. I guess it might be used as like an emergency energy acceleration dude, but it's a stage 1. It doesn't have free retreat. It's a good little crazy attack. I guess a really appropriate name, never give up. But you don't really want to rely on stuff like this. You want to rely on consistency. You want to be ahead, not worry about getting your ass kicked and then coming back with this. And then Headbolt is just a 3 energy attack that does 110. Pretty mediocre as well. I mean, I guess it's decent. It's just a decent attack on a stage 1. Alright, next up we got Dedenne GX. Now, I kind of remember this guy a bit too. I've seen it before. I think it's good. It has a good ability. Let's wait for it to load the art here. Looks kind of cute, I guess, with his eyes sort of glistening. Dedenne Charge. So once during your turn, when you play this card from your hand to your bench, you may discard your hand, then draw 6 cards. This ability cannot be used if you already used Dedenne Charge this turn. Yeah, just like I remember it, it kind of has this sort of shaman effect. So you play this Pokemon down, you don't draw until you have 6, you dump your hand and you draw 6. That's still a good ability to have. Like in many situations, it might even be better than Shaman. Now I like the little side effect they gave it, that if you use this ability already, you can't use it a second time in a turn. That's good. They need to do things like this so that we have healthy cards and balanced cards. Like Shaman is pretty busted when you can just draw your whole deck if you run a bunch of Ultra Balls, a bunch of cards that dump, and just use it like that. So they made this sort of card like this, and they give it this little condition. It's perfect. Once per turn, pretty damn fair. Maybe people won't try to abuse it. I mean, they can't abuse it anyway. Its attacks, I'm guessing, aren't going to be very special. This is a support Pokemon with that ability. You got Static Shock 50 for 2. Standard, I guess. I mean, Entei can do 50 for 2 as well. And Electric Turn GX. Your opponent's active Pokemon is paralyzed. Return this Pokemon and all cards attached to it to your hand while you're doing 50. So this is a useful GX attack as well for 2 energy. You do a little bit of damage, you apply instant paralysis, and you return this Pokemon to your hand, meaning you can use the ability again, reuse this dude, and draw cards. So it's a nice little triple package for a GX attack. Paralysis, you return this guy so you negate any damage your opponent made, and you can use it for Dedenne Charge again. Pretty good, pretty good. Its bottom stats are pretty standard, pretty okay. Only 1 retreat, good metal resistance, and weak to fighting, as most lightning Pokemon are. The HP, it's 160. It's kind of low, but it honestly could have been worse compared to how some Pokemon like Jirachi X, Shaymin EX, the original one, was with 110 HP from Next Destinies, and some of the other like little mini EXs we had, like Victini EX and stuff. It's not so bad. 160, I guess, for GX. It's okay. It's slightly lower than Lele. This is a support Pokemon after all, for the most part. It's kind of going to act like Shaymin EX, the one from Roaring Skies. It's a good Pokemon. I definitely see this card seeing a lot of play when it comes out. Even just as a one-off, people are going to have an index to be able to draw, dump and draw. Especially since we don't have a card like Sycamore or Juniper in Standard. That sort of dump and draw effect is really missing that. And this card is going to provide that, I think. I'm definitely running it when it comes out, if I get it, of course. You guys are going to see it in decks. It is kind of like Shaman, like how Uxie was. This sort of ability, Pokemon, major draw power. Very good. So this might be like the best card in this set so far. It's going to be really sought after, I guess. It's going to end up like Lele, perhaps, like these sorts of super consistent cards, super flexible cards that every deck just runs, and they end up being very expensive because of their playability. Alright, now we got Charge-a-Bug and Vikavolt. These guys are lightning dudes. So this Charge-a-Bug here has battery. Once during your turn, if this card is in your hand, you may attach this card to Vikavolt or Vikavolt GX as a special energy. Provides 2 lightning energy. Nice. So I guess once you evolve into your dudes, and maybe you don't need your stage 1 guys, like a lot of the times you don't need your stage 1 guys if you evolved into a bunch of your stage 2s through rare candy, then this is a nice little effect to have. This guy, then he's not going to be useless. You can use him as a double lightning energy attachment. So that can be pretty good. Maybe this will help a Vikavolt GX get more relevant. Maybe. Uh, it's a pretty good ability, to be honest, on stage 1. Like, I wish something like Pig Knight had this, or War Turtle when I play Blastoise and Emboar. I mean, I guess you can't attach it to anyone. It's got to be Vikavolt or Vikavolt GX, but it's still pretty good. Both of those Pokemon, like the Energy Acceleration Vikavolt, has a pretty solid attack that does 150 anyway. So nice. And let's look at this new Vikavolt. It seems it's going to be different than the one we're used to. It's not a reprint. You got Stealth Body. If there is a Stadium card in play, this Pokemon has no weakness. Can be handy since fighting Pokemon are usually popular, and being weak to fighting usually isn't good. And it got Lightning Strike. Does 120 for 4, and you may discard all lightning energies. If you do, 220 for 4. Good. It's high damage. Once again, stage 1 GXs, they don't really have like the cap HP we're used to. With tag team GXs, these basic Pokemon that go over 250, maybe hitting 220 won't be as good if they keep getting popular. Like Zekrom, I think it's still pretty popular. However, it's still pretty good to take care of Zoroark GXs and these sorts of Pokemon. I mean, with the Choice Band, you can do 250 and take care of Stage 2 GXs as well. So it's pretty good. It can cover some ground. Discarding all lightning energies is a hefty cost. You're going to discard at least 3, since I guess the 4th one it can be anything, but it's probably going to be a lightning too. But it's pretty good. It's a pretty good attack at the very least. You're doing a lot of damage for the hefty cost. You're getting knockouts. That's the important thing. What do we have next? We've got another basic Zeraora. I think this might be the second one we get. We got one in Team Up too. And what do? You've got 120 HP, only 1 retreat. So solid stats all around. You can do Crush Claw, 20 for 1. Discard a special energy from your opponent's active Pokemon. Okay, not bad. Not bad for a first attack, I suppose. And then Discharge. You do 50 times and discard all lightning energy attached to this Pokemon. 50 damage times the energy discarded this way. Okay, cool. So Rayquaza style attack, Rayquaza EX style attack. So I guess if you discard 3 lightning energies, you can do 150. You want to discard 2, you do 100. What you want to do, I guess, with this is discard 4 to 5, I guess, so that you do 200 to 250 damage. With a Choice Band, he can get knockouts in Stage 1 GXs again. It might not be too bad, actually. Like I can use this with the Magnezone in Standard even. So not bad. It's a basic Pokemon. It's not going to give 2 prizes like a GX. I mean, the damage output isn't the greatest, but it's a basic Pokemon. It's pretty good. I tried the fucking Turtonador, the dragon one from Dragon Majesty in Expanded. Used that with Emboar. Maybe I need to try it out even more just for fun. But this guy is pretty similar. I'm pretty sure the attack, I read it correct. It's... Oh wait, actually you discard all lightning energies, so I guess you can't do less than 150. You can only go over that. Alright, still good. And Marshadow. It's got another ability. It's another ability, Marshadow. Once during your turn, if this Pokemon is on your bench, you may discard the Stadium card in play. If you do, discard this card, no cards attached to it. Okay, so this is like a Pokemon you can use as a field blower, I guess, just for stadiums. Alright, kind of interesting. The question is everything else good? Let's look at the attack. Red Knuckle. If your opponent's active Pokemon has an Ultra Beast, 60 more damage. So this is an Ultra Beast hater as well. You do 70 for 1 against them. I mean, Ultra Beasts aren't really that hot right now. They were hot for a bit. I guess Buzzhole is still good. A lot of Ultra Beasts is still good. But now Tag Team GXs are the shit. I don't know if they're going to release some Tag Team GX Ultra Beasts. They might. You have that extra damage against the Ultra Beasts, I guess, but against everything else, it's just going to be 1 for 10. I mean, I guess you're going to use this as a Pokemon, as a discarding outlet for stadiums in the form of a Pokemon, so I guess it's kind of searchable. But the question is, do you want to spend a Pokemon like that in your deck just for that, when you can just use Field Blower? It doesn't even, I don't think he can get rid of Prism Stadiums too, because they're immune to effects. You gotta play a stadium to get rid of them. I think they negate this effect as well, so he can't even get rid of those. If he got rid of the Prism Stadiums, then maybe I could see it being splashed in some decks. But because it doesn't, it just basically acts like a single field blower for a stadium. Then I don't know why you would bother. Once again, it's searchable. You can use this. You can grab this with like Mystery Treasure. Grab this with a bunch of cards. But I don't think it's worth it. It's not even like a good. If it was like a decent attacker, then maybe before it dies, you get it out of the way and then you just use the effect. Then maybe, but it's kind of mediocre for the most part. Okay, whatever. It's got nice background art though. You got this trees here. You got this little. I think it might be like a lake, might be like a beach. I don't know. Kind of cool. Not bad. And what do we got? We got a Wooper and Quagsire. Oh yeah, fighting Wooper. Cool shit. I've been longing to see shit like this, man. Hopefully the Quagsire is good. So you do Mud Bomb, 30 for 2. And what about Quagsire? What you got? Water Gun and just 120 for 3. Pretty standard. Nothing really special. Nothing really groundbreaking. Too bad. And is that like the SSN ship or whatever? SS title? Who knows? We got Gligar and Gliscor too. Some of my favorites. Do you guys do some cool shit? So this Gligar has free flight. If this Pokemon has no energy, doesn't have a retreat cost. But I mean, I guess it's not bad. It's good. It sucks that it needs to have like 2 retreat costs, but it's a good ability. And then Ninja Thrust, if you play Janine, another dude that increases damage. You can do 94, 3 energies. I guess it's a basic Pokemon that can still evolve, but you probably don't want to attack with a little dude like this and lose all the energies. What about Gliscor though? Does Gliscor do cool shit? Also works with any energy, so I guess they really made this ninja Pokemon flexible. That's like the theme here. You can do collect, draw 3 cards. An okay attack, I guess. The Espeon from Lost Thunder does that shit too. And you can do Poison Jab, 70 for 3, and instant poisoning. I mean, it's decent, but the Guardian's Rising Gliscor just does 90 for 3, and it actually has a good first attack as well. Cacturn outclasses it, but it's still kind of good. But the second attack is better. I mean, with this, it's going to be at 90 at the end of your opponent's turn if they keep the poison and they keep that Pokemon. It works with any energy, so I guess you don't have to use fighting. But I mean, if you're gonna use a Pokemon to hit stuff for weakness, you want to maximize damage, not poisoning. So it's a solid little Pokemon, but it just feels like it's not a great poison Pokemon, and it's not a great fighting tech Pokemon either. I mean, the Onyx from, I believe, it must be Lost Thunder 2 again, yeah, does 120 for 4, and that's in that range where it's just much better. Gets the job done hitting for weakness at the very least. Alright, too bad. Next up we got Greninja and Zoroark GX. Okay, so yeah, this guy. I remember seeing some people talking about this card. I'm not quite sure what it does. I guess we're going to find out now. So this is a Tag Team GX Pokemon. It has 250 HP. 2 retreat cost. Psychic resistance. Fighting weakness. Okay. So the stats are kind of, I guess, standard, you could say, for GX Pokemon. Tag Team GX Pokemon. And it's got 2 attacks. Dark Pulse. This attack does 30 more damage for each darkness energy attached to all of your Pokemon in play. Wow, so pretty similar to the Darkrai EX and Rayquaza GX attacks. This guy is going to replace Darkrai EX. It seems his time has finally come. He had a good run, but, you know, power creep, man. Like, this guy, you have every reason to use this guy as opposed to Darkrai EX. I mean, yeah, this guy gives 3 prizes, attack team GX, but you do so much more damage. Like, you do 30 plus, and it's going to do 30 more. Like, that Darkrai does 20 more, so he's much weaker. This is higher damage output, Rayquaza GX level, basically. And it's going to be really powerful. I see this card seeing playing expanded. Basically, just like the Darkrai Turbo guys, the Darkrai Turbo decks you guys are familiar with, we know and love. The only difference is you run this guy as opposed to Darkrai. So I guess it's going to be called Greninja Zoroark GX Turbo now, as opposed to Darkrai Turbo. And Knight Unison GX, or however you pronounce that word, I don't really know, but this is like the set's name as well. You put up to 2 Darkness Pokemon GX or EX from your discard pile to your bench, and if this Pokemon has at least 1 extra energy, you put 2 energy from your discard pile to each of those Pokemon. So not really any. This is a support attack. It doesn't do any damage. So you're not going to use this to KO stuff. You're using this to grab dudes back. They gotta be GX or EX. They gotta be dark. I mean, I don't know. I guess you can instantly grab like some stage 2 guys. But what are you going to grab? I'd say just use another GX attack rather than this. I guess if you do, it depends on your deck. Maybe you have something good to grab. But I mean, to just have 3 energies on this dude just to get a bunch of Pokemon and get a few energies on them. I guess it kind of synergizes a bit with Dark Pulse. You can make Dark Pulse stronger if you get a bunch of energies that way from the discard pile. It's okay. It's okay GX attack, but I'd say Dark Pulse is the better attack. The attack you're going to focus your decks on. Just use Dark Patches, use Max Elixirs, get those Darkness energy in play. Use Darkrai GX, get energies that way. And this guy's going to get one-shots. Very nice. So definitely a good Pokemon. This is definitely a great expanded card, for sure. Carvanha and Sharpedo. Are you guys going to be good ever? I can't even remember if there was a time that you guys were good. Since the Team Magma days, since the EX era or some shit. So Greed Evolution, Carvanha doesn't do anything. When you play this Pokemon from your hand to evolve, you may look at the top 6 cards of your deck and attach any number of darkness energies to this Pokemon. Cool. So finally, I guess this guy answered my question. He is kind of good for once in his life. Very, very cool art here. Like, this reminded me of Muramasa Rebirth for some reason. This sort of artsy sea background and the ship there. I don't know if you guys have played that game, but whatever. And you can only attach the energies to himself, so let's see if he has a good attack. Hard Fang. It does 60 for 3 and 20 more damage for each darkness energy to this Pokemon. So I guess if you have 3 darkness energies, it essentially does 120 for 3. I guess it's self-sufficient. Maybe if you get lucky, you can see the darkness energies. You know what, though? I think this Pokemon, he might not be good still as an attacker. Maybe as a secondary attacker or just like a backup dude. But you can actually use this combine with Zoroark and Greninja GX and make a, I was gonna say Darkrai Turbo, a Zoroark GX Greninja Turbo Dark deck in standard with this. Like, it's a strong effect. I mean, you can, it's only when you evolve, but you can use it to grab like a bunch of darkness energies that way. And I mean, you can power up like the Greninja and Zoroark GX's attack that way. Or you can just maybe manipulate the energies, do something with the energies and move them around with energy switch. It definitely has a very good ability that's going to see play. Uh, as for an attacker, I guess it just makes for a decent stage 1 dude in emergencies maybe. If you have a bunch of darkness energies, I guess his attack can be strong. Stats are pretty standard. 110 HP is good when you have 1 retreat. The psychic resistance, weak to fighting. Pretty good. I really love the art. Like, I would love to have this just in my collection. Cool. Yeah, I just want to look at it. Look at Sharpedo the way it is. I mean, it always kind of looks a bit weird the way it is like this. Yeah. Okay, let's not waste any more time. I'll do this later. Next up, we got a Dark Greninja. This is like the regular dude. Yeah, it really looks really dark here. His blue color as well. You got 130 HP, low as fuck, but I guess it has one retreat. It has a free retreat. You should have had 140, but whatever. Let's hope the rest is good. And Slay, you knock out the Pokemon to play with the lowest remaining HP aside from this Pokemon. Wow. So this is kind of crazy because if you have a bunch of hurt Pokemon, then you can just kill your own guys and give your opponents prizes, but you're probably not going to use this attack if you're in that situation. But this is basically like a ticket to get easy knockouts on certain Pokemon. Like if you don't have any damage dudes, your opponent has like, let's say 1 or 2, and then you just use this attack, and then just the one of them is going to get knocked out just like that if it's a GX Pokemon. It can be a pretty nasty attack, to be honest. I'm sure there's ways to play around it, but it's definitely not that hard to pull off. As you guys can see, it just requires a DCE for you to use this attack. And then Miss Slash, 2 Darkness Energy. You do 70 for 2. This attack damage isn't affected by anything. Effects, weakness, resistance. Okay, you can't even hit for weakness, but it is what it is. So I guess if you're not using Slay, you've got this little decent conventional attack to go by. It's not that good, but I guess you have it. Yeah, I think I remember like Vince, one of the guys that is in the Amino. I don't go there anymore right now. I don't have the time. But he sometimes comments on my videos. Yeah, I think he was kind of worried about this card when he learned about it. I think it's this card, or it might be some other Greninja card. I think it's this one, yeah. That Slay attack can get kind of crazy, but this is a stage 2 Pokemon. This is, like I said, you can knock out your own dudes as well. So yeah, maybe it might do some shit. It might not just see any play. We'll see. But it is one of those sort of effects when, you know, I wish the Pokemon Company just didn't print effects like this, perhaps. Oh well. Inkay and Malamar. This time these guys are getting dark again. You got Perplex. Your opponent's active Pokemon is now confused. So you're going from sleep to confuse, huh, Inkay? And then this Malamar. Hypnotic domination. Oh wow, that sounds so fucked up. Look at your opponent's hand. You may discard a Pokemon you find there, then select one of that Pokemon's attacks, excluding the GX attacks, and use it at this attack. Pretty cool. So I guess if you pull stage 2 dude, then you can just use the attack, and you don't even pay the energy costs. You still gonna do it for 1 dark. So this can be pretty strong. You might be able to pull some really broken, easy attacks with this. Now you need to find a Pokemon in your opponent's hand, but I mean maybe they're gonna have something if they're playing a stage 2 deck and they're still setting up their dudes. You might be able to hit something. Of course, it's not very reliable, so it probably won't be a really competitive Pokemon. but it's kind of cool. It's kind of cool. Um, and then Dark Pressure, you do 80 for 3, and then you discard the top card of your opponent's deck. That's it. Hypnotic Domination is kind of cool though, kind of interesting. We get some nice beach background art again, and this sort of like aura thing this dude is doing, kind of fucked up, kind of cool I guess. It just maybe is too cool for a Pokemon like Malamar. Moving on. Next up we got Gardevoir and Sylveon GX. Of course they were gonna make a card like this. Man, I just feel like it seems like the most popular Pokemon, they keep getting special treatment. Like, when am I gonna fucking see like a Gorobis GX card, or fuck, I don't know, like maybe an Absol GX, or just a Pokemon, I guess Absol maybe is a bit popular. Just a Pokemon that's not popular that come out of nowhere and get a GX. Yeah. So we got Gardevoir and Sylveon. They get treatment again, especially Gardevoir. You got 3 attacks. You got Fairy Song. Search your deck for up to 2 fairy energies. Put them on your Pokemon in any way you like. Very, very, very good. You put it anywhere. You can even put this on their self. And yeah, there was a dude that was talking about this card, I remember. Yeah, you can definitely use this with Gardevoir GX too. So I guess the Gardevoir cards get combined again. But I'm trying to figure out if that's the most efficient way to run the card. Like, perhaps, I guess, this can be one of your methods. You do attack, though. You don't just grab the energies with an ability. And then Kaleido Storm. Move any number of energy from your Pokemon to other Pokemon in any way you like, and you do 150 for 3. And then Miracle Magical GX. If this Pokemon has at least 3 extra fairy energies, your opponent shuffles their hand into their deck. And doesn't draw shit, of course. So you do 200 for 3, and I guess if you got 6 on, then you leave your opponent with no hand. That can be kind of broken, but I guess the cost is a bit hefty. Decent little Pokemon. It doesn't scream like abuse, like the way Gengar does, or like not Zygarde, Zekrom GX Pikachu does. But you guys can see it has some significant things, like the energy acceleration attack, Kaleido Storm, moving the energies around after you do 150 can be kind of handy. Miracle Magical is also solid. Stats are decent too. 260 is much better than something like 240. Double Retreat, Darkness Resistance. It's a solid little GX Pokemon. I'm pretty sure it's gonna find its way in decks and find uses basically. I guess really an easy deck to think of is indeed the Gardevoir GX deck. Like, use this with Gardevoir GX. Use this with another Pokemon that just can use fairy energies or any energies, period. Like, you can even put the energies in a Pokemon like Snorlax with this. All sorts of stuff. Very, very nice. Man, you can actually fucking be self-sufficient. You just go, if you play second, you attach an energy on this. You use Fairy Song, you get 2 energies just like that, and then by your second turn, this Pokemon is ready to start doing Kaleido Storm. So, yeah, it really seems like basic Pokemon, these basic tag team GXs are gonna start taking over like really seriously. Akin to how the EXs in Black and White, when they came out, started taking over and everything else. You just couldn't use anything. You had to use those big EX Pokemon, and now it's like these tag team GX Pokemon are gonna be the center of attention again. I hope the game doesn't turn to being mediocre again, because I feel like it's pretty healthy. The TCG is kind of healthy right now, bar a few exceptions, some dumb shit they make and they still do. The game is kind of healthy. I mean, I guess it's no surprise since they keep remaking shit from the EX era. Oh well, the original EX era. Alright, I think I need to pick up the pace here. We got Clefairy here, double slap. Doesn't do shit, okay. Got Clefable. You do Moon View and Dance. This attack is going to do 30 more damage for each fairy energy attached to all of your Pokemon. So I guess this is another obvious combo with cards from the same set. You can try Gardevoir GX, Gardevoir, Sylveon GX. with this. You can try it, I guess. Stage 1, dude. You're gonna do some high damage, I guess, if you have a bunch. Let's say you have 5 energies around. You're gonna do 160 for 1. Okay, whatever. We got Togepi, Togedick, and Togekiss. So Daunt, during your opponent's next turn, prevent any damage. During your opponent's next turn, any damage done by attacks this Pokemon is reduced by 30. Okay. And then let's look at Togetic here. Looks kind of cute. It's smelling the flowers. I was gonna say it's taking a nap, but it's just smelling the flowers. Nah, it's very cute. I like these Pokemon, the Togepi line. You got Energy Present. Attach an energy card from your hand to one of your bench Pokemon, and then Magical Shot. Alright. What about you, Togekiss? Are you gonna be good? I want to use you if you're good. Pretty freaking fly art there. Shout out to the background once again. Digging it. We got Fairy Banquet. Once during your turn before you attack, you may heal 30 damage for each of your Pokemon. So just a mass healing attack. I mean, I guess it works on everybody. It's pretty good. I mean, Rough Seas was a good card when that was around, so it's definitely not a weak ability, but this is a Stage 2 Pokemon. It's not a Stadium. Damn it. If it at least had like a solid attack, so maybe you get the benefit in its own deck, but it has 140 HP, 1 retreat. The attack isn't so good. It's actually shit, to be honest. 70 for 2. Too bad, once again. I mean, when are they going to give me a good Togekiss card? It seems like forever. Spritzy and Aromatisse. Haven't seen you guys in a while. Spritzy doesn't do shit. Okay, what about Aromatisse? No ability, alright. You got Intense Scent. Flip 2 coins. If either of them is heads, your opponent reveals their hand for each heads. So it's like a fucking Cyrus's initiative on our attack. So you shuffle it back in the deck, you don't discard it, but some hand rape shit. Okay, I guess it's a stage 1, not too bad. And then Miracle Cologne, nice name. You flip a coin, if heads select a special condition, your opponent gets affected by the special condition. So I guess you can select like paralysis. I was gonna say freeze, but yeah, this isn't the video games. But I guess you can choose like paralysis. It seems like that would be the best thing to pick. Burned, I guess, if you want to do 50 damage, but that's not good. But you gotta flip, you gotta get heads on a coin flip. Alright, just another card. Bunch of fucking flowers here. Background. Cool, cool shit. Rattata and Eradicate. You do not 1 for 30, but you only have fucking 30 HP. Dude. And then Eradicate. You got Triumphal. If your opponent's active Pokemon is evolved, switches Pokemon one of your bench Pokemon. 70 for 2. Your 70 HP isn't gonna cut it though. Motherfucker. Lickitung. You do Lick. Doesn't really do shit either, nothing special. What the fuck are you doing in this meadow? Seems not like Lickitung there. Oh well. And we're down to the trainers, so let's look at what the fuck they're giving us here. Look at the ninja cards too. So Electromagnetic Radar. This is probably like a lightning support card. You discard 2 cards from your hand. Okay, hefty cost. If you do search your deck for up to 2 in any combination of Lightning Pokemon GX or Pokemon EX, reveal them and put them into your hand. I like how at least they keep supporting EX Pokemon a bit, even though they've been power crept by now. But I guess they're giving them those. They're trying not to make the power creep too obvious, I guess. They get that sort of support too. Okay, so I guess you can grab 2 GX or EX Lightning Pokemon like that. I mean, I guess it's like a double mystery treasure. Might not be too bad. I mean, I could definitely see the use of it in a deck like Ray Eels if I ever like use Lightning Pokemon. Like it's the main focus of the deck, so it's a great card. In Lightning decks, it's gonna be pretty good for sure. Lightning has a lot of power here, so I don't know why they keep printing Lightning support cards. They're really going all out here. Very good card though. I don't know exactly how useful it's going to be in Standard, in Zekrom GX decks, and uh, fucking Zapdos decks, because perhaps you don't want to dump so many energies at once. I mean, you got the Tapu Koko Prism play, of course, yeah, but this is definitely good in decks like that run the Electric with Dynamotor and Expanded. Uh, Pokemon that really want to dump a lot of lightning energies like that. I guess you can do some Zoroark GX shit. So yeah, I think it's going to be really good. This might make Zekrom GX even more broken. Uh, it's going to make him so that you can actually now just rely a lot on Zoroark. You dump a few things with this, get a bunch of Pokemon, and then you use Zoroark GX's attack to power up everything. Thing is though, like, and that's pretty good, the way they design these cards, is that if you use Zoroark GX's GX attack to get a bunch of lightning energies on the field quickly like that, then Zekrom can't use his big ass attack with 6 energies, which is what really is the broken part about that Pokemon. One of the broken things, I guess, that you can just get 2 huge knockouts by doing that 170 slap on the bench while doing over 200 damage on the active. So yeah, it gets balanced like that, so I'm glad. So maybe disregard the thing I said about Zoroark GX. You can still power it up, but you're not going to be able to use both GX attacks, of course. I hope that doesn't change ever. Like they do some shit like with Zygarde. We got Surprise Box here. Return a card from your opponent's discard into your opponent's hand. Now that's what the fuck I'm talking about. It is an item, so Vileplume. I mean, if I use this in my Gengar deck once Vileplume is out, then it's gonna be dead. It's a dead card. But this is some good shit. Like, I want them to print some cards that help out Gengar because I've really been digging the deck. And the only trouble it has really is, well, against things like Dark Pokemon and GX and new Pokemon like Hoopa and Ninetales, you've got no chance. But one of the other issues it has sometimes, I mean, N kind of solves that problem a bit. But if your opponent doesn't have stuck cards in their hand, like stuck trainers, and you don't have a way to put dead cards in their hand, then you can't do a lot of damage with Poltergeist. Or at least enough damage to make the risk of running that Gengar card worth it. Like, I don't want to just be doing 150, I want to be doing like 200, 250 with Gengar. So maybe this card might help. Maybe I probably won't run it, because it's an item, it doesn't help that much. And maybe like early game when you can still use trainers, you don't want to do this, give your opponent a free card, but it's something, at least we're getting something. I might use it, I might not, we'll wait and see. We get the Pokegear reprint here. Pokegear hasn't been around since really the Heart Gold Soul Silver set, like the base set, and they're bringing it back, it seems. Cool. You look at the top 7 cards of your deck, you choose a supported card you find there, and you put it into your hand. This is a pretty good card, man. Definitely freaking running this. This is very, very good. Once again, Trainer's Mill probably outclasses this because you only reveal 4, but you can get any trainer. But this is a good ass effect for sure. Like, I mean, Whistle and Acrobike, of course, are still good. But if you want to get something specific, this card is awesome. Get a supporter like that. We got Jirachi, we got a lot of great tools, but this card is very good. Pokegear. And we got Secret Hood. Secret Hood. This looks like a fucking Roman. Reminds me of one of those Roman helmets in Asterix and Obelix, the video games. Oh well. Prevent all the effects of your opponent's Pokemon's abilities done to this Pokemon. So I guess if you attach this to one of your Pokemon, prevent all effects of your opponent's Pokemon abilities done to this. Yeah, it's immune to them. Okay. And we got Fairy Charm Electric. I think these cards might be a reprint. This one and the Fairy Charm ability. Yeah, I think these ones, we got them in Team Up or something. And then the supporters, Wow, it seems we have Lieutenant Surge's strategy too here, like a Lieutenant Surge card. We got Janine and Koga's Trap. Let's look at Janine first. You look at the top 4 cards of your deck, put 2 of the cards into your hand, then shuffle the deck. So this is like a reverse uh, underground exploration, what's that card called? The underground dudes. I forgot their names. Yeah, they got reprinted in Celestial Storm. Whatever. Instead of the bottom, you look at the top. Okay. So not the greatest card in the world, but I guess you're gonna use this with the ninja Pokemon if you use them. And then Koga's Trap. I remember I checked this card. It's basically like a Hypnotoxic Laser and a supporter. Yeah, your opponent's active Pokemon is now poisoned and confused. So slightly better than Laser, but it's good because it's a supporter. It's going to spend your supporter for the turn. Instant, poison, and confusion. Perhaps the sleep effect, I mean, if it was instant, maybe it would have been too broken. It would have been broken, actually. So with the confusion, I guess you just make it hard for your opponent. You always get the effect. It's not like a coin flip, like Laser. And you get instant poison. So I guess if you really want to use that Venomoth GX, then you're going to run a bunch of these. It doesn't net you cards too, so yeah, I don't know how good it's gonna be. I hope it's not good because I would hate to see it all the time in front of me. But yeah, that's what Koga does. Okay, and then Lieutenant Surge. I'm curious what you do. Like this is supposed to be a ninja set. What the fuck are you doing here? You're a military dude, man. Military shit. Nothing to do with ninja shit. So can only be played if you have more prize cards remaining than your opponent. The number of supporter cards you can play this turn is 3, including this card. Oh fuck. Yeah, I remember. I read that a while ago too. Yeah, this effect is broken as fuck. Like, they just freaking banned Lucimin and then they make a card like this so that the troll decks can fucking exploit. Why do they do this? Like, what? Like, this card is just so obvious. It's gonna work wonders in Hoopa, Regigigas, the decks that just want to run you out of resources, don't attack, don't care much about at all about prizes really. They just want to run you out of resources. So as soon as you get your first prize against that fucking deck, they can just use this and use a bunch of Plumerias in a turn, a bunch of Acerolas in a turn and shit. Just fuck, man. Why do they do these things? Like, don't they know this card is gonna be hell in that deck, and it'll probably end up getting banned again. Like, mark my words, if this card gets banned after a while, because they say like they're gonna ban it and say in like the explanation, because of the combination with the Hoopa and all these fucked up interactions where your opponent can do all this shit, and it's gonna get banned. Like, mark my words, if it happened, I'm gonna say I called it. Uh, it's crazy. Like, it says included in this card, so what it means is that you're gonna use 2 more supporters. This guy doesn't count. So what you can do is, like, you can use like a Plumeria or 2, or just use something like a Plumeria and Lucimin or Plumeria and Acerola. And it's freaking hell in those decks, man, like these troll ass decks. And in any other deck that just runs this as a tech, or you just run it to get the drop on your opponent, it's still pretty powerful. Like, freaking play like 3 supporters, like, damn. And only if you have more prize cards, if you have more prize cards remaining than your opponent, is a pretty easy cost. Like, this is the same cost as how not teammates, but twins. Like how the twins worked in Hard Gold Undaunted. I think that card was released, one of those sets. Oh no, I think it was Triumphant. But yeah, just the cost being your opponent, you need to have more prize cards remaining than your opponent, is a pretty easy cost. If you had like a harder cost to meet, like a harder condition, like you need to have like your opponent needs to have like 3 more prizes than you. You need to have like 3 more prizes than your opponent, what I meant to say. Some shit like that. Then yeah, maybe it would be more balanced. It would still be broken, but more balanced. But the way it is like this, it's gonna be fucked up. Enough. I think I talked enough about this card. Enough about you. You're gonna be broken. Okay. And we got an Electro Power reprint, Enhanced Hammer reprint, Max Potion reprint, and Guzma reprint. Alright, he looks kind of fly here. He seems like, yeah, acting like a boss. You got all these guys in the background. So he wants to be kind of cool. Alright. And oh my god, this disgusting Venomoth GX just looks so creepy, so fucked up. Let's look at the dedenne. I guess if it zooms. I'm not even going to click on Venomoth. I don't ever want to see that shit. Disgusting. You got these other guys here. We got Janine, Koga, and then the secret rares. And oh, we got Aether Paradise Conservation Area too as a secret. Okay, it's not gonna show us. It doesn't seem you get it as a normal though. But this is the Night Unison set, guys. We covered that, so that's out of the way. They'll probably bundle this with our next set that's gonna come in May. I think it's called Tag Bonds or something like that. Or I don't remember what it's called, but it's gonna be coming as they all do. And they might combine it with this. They might release this as a standalone set. Who knows what they'll do. They do all sorts of shit now. But yeah, Japanese set. I give you guys my reviews on the cards. Definitely the dedenne is really cool. It's going to be probably the best card here. Fuck Lieutenant Surge's strategy because he's going to be broken as fuck. It's just a very unfair effect that breaks the game. Just too much of an advantage. And it causes a lot of shit. Like it really encourages like shit play. Like you're losing, like your opponent, let's say, is outplaying you, doing the right shit, and then you just use a bunch of supporters, then you come back like that. Like even if you just use a bunch of supporters to draw like a million shits, it's not cool, man. It is not cool. And then Poke Gear is a really nice card. Surprise Box I like. Electromagnetic is another good card. Radar. So a bunch of decent trainers here. Yeah, some good ass Pokemon too. The dedenne is good. GXs were good. Sharpedo is really cool as well. The other stuff doesn't stand out too much, but we have a few cards. But anyways, guys, I rambled long enough. Hope you guys enjoyed this set review. Hope you guys subscribe, leave a like, share this with your friends. My channel is an excellent hub for all things TCG. And I'll see you guys on the next video. Thank you guys for watching as always. Cerebral94, and what's up? I keep going back here looking at the fucker. Fuck. Yeah, I want to look at you. So we're gonna sign out here looking at gardevoir, let's say. So Cerebral94, what's up?